Hey guys, and how's it going? Maniac Mower here. Got another video for you guys today. We're gonna be working on this 216. My buddy Mike picked it up. It was it's a 1975. It had been sitting for 5 years before he got it. Story behind it goes, the guy bought it, or he bought it off of a kid who had it and he was using it to mow his yard, and that's about it. And he didn't take really good care of it, as you can see by looking at it. The air filter was full of grass, and now most of that's probably from it having a mouse nest in it. But it was full of grass, and as you can see, the tractor hadn't been cleaned. You'll see it here later on. But the story behind it is he used it to mow his yard. The tractor didn't run very good for the guy, and it had a running issue. He ended up having a lawnmower repair shop look at the valves.
Sorry, Sasquatch camera. I'm getting in the way. What the fuck?
What did John do?
Nothing. Somebody flooded through it.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
If you were smart, what you've done is pulled this off and then take
Take a look.
Take that. What size is that thing? See?
But like I was saying before we started talking, we were pulling that. Oh, he used it and that was about it. And he took it to a lawnmower repair shop to have them look at it and see if they could fix it. They ended up adjusting the valves, and you guys are going to see right here.
Oh, this is nice. Plugged off.
What?
The blow by is plugged off.
Is it really?
It's got a bolt in it.
You're shitting me.
What the heck?
What the hell?
Some dimwit. See?
What kind of stupid fuck?
Oh my gosh. They must have done it when he had a lawnmower shop to do the valves on it. They
So-
must have done it.
You're telling me this thing must have bad blow on, or something like that. If it's
No, they probably just lost the tube and just put a bolt in it so it wouldn't leak. Dumb idiots. No wonder it didn't run right for him.
I'll find a blow by tube. I might
We'll just
have.
have to take this off, make a new gasket for it.
You honestly don't even need you don't really need a blow by tube, but the thing about it is, and it was probably sucking all kinds of shit in through that hole in the back of the
Yeah,
air
because it
filter
wasn't
house.
the air filter.
Yeah, and it was sucking all that shit in. And it's all going right into the carburetor, so that's another reason.
Yeesh.
If I was you, I'd pull this motor apart.
No shit, no. I ain't pulling it that far apart. It was already supposed to be worked on.
I would check it, the bore, because if a engine shop did that,
Give me that screwdriver.
if an engine shop would pull a stunt like that and do something that stupid, then I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't adjust the valves right.
Okay. Somebody give me the half-inch wrench on the seat.
What I was trying to say right there is I was telling him to check the bore on the motor, because there's a hole where the tube goes from the valve cover to the back of the air filter, and I'll explain what that tube does later and why I was informing this. But when that tube is pulled off, there's a hole in the back of the air filter housing, and the air that goes through that little hole is not filtered, because that air comes out of the crankcase where the rod is. What that's for is the reason that hole's there, and what we were looking at when we say it was plugged off was actually the bolt there is supposed to be there. It was what was holding the valve cover on. This actually had an earlier style valve cover on it, actually, for a 100 series, like what my 1973 112 has on it. The 216 that I have and the one that he has the correct valve cover on it, but this one, since the shop did it, I think they put the wrong style one on it. But it did have a thing out of it. It was letting the crankcase pressure out. When the piston goes down, it causes pressure to build up inside of the engine block, and if there's nowhere for that pressure to go, it's going to throw that dipstick out, and you're going to have to find your dipstick once it goes through your hood. But A shop did it, and the tractor didn't run right for him. And I think he ended up parking it, and it sat for 5 years, like I said. The reason it sat 5 years is I think he was so used to it running rough that when it started running good again, he thought, this thing's not running right. And so he just left it, parked it, and bought a new one like most people would do nowadays. Which is unfortunate, but what are you going to do? So, pulling that muffler shroud off right there so we can get in there. It's got no, there's usually a cover that's supposed to be over the flywheel, but this one has the hydraulic pulley on it, so it doesn't have that cover on there. They do make a cover that goes around that, but this
You just ought to make a trailer or some kind of a thing like they do at the beginning of movies, and then just make it, put music in it. Just do all the good parts of us where we're all swearing at each other. Don't miss the road rage special. Road rage, man. Or
The shop rage.
Shop rage. Don't miss the shop rage special. How many cuss words can they say in 1 hour?
I think that would get tiring in a jiffy.
John would be good at that. He likes to say, gimme, 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 gimme. He just changed to fuck.
Whatever. But we ought to do that. We'll give him some of our footage, and he can put it in the best parts, not the getting it running, just the best parts of us cussing each other out. What?
My footage won't have any of us cussing each other out.
Why?
I'm not.
Mine's time lapse.
Yours not right now.
You haven't set the time lapse?
Yeah.
Huh.
That was at the 10x. I have 5, 10, 30.
Anyways, what we were talking about when we were saying do a trailer, Mike didn't get any footage for his channel because he wasn't filming it. Unfortunately, I didn't get very much footage. As you can see here, we're just speeding right through the carburetor. You guys should know how to pull a carburetor apart by now. I've filmed it so many times. I just showed it to show you guys how rough the carburetor was. But when we were filming, now here's the story. I brought a whole bunch of carburetor parts with me. I brought my carburetor parts. I brought feeler gauges. I brought everything that we would need to get that thing going again. But unfortunately, I guess, in the midst of getting everything while I was here at the house, getting everything all ready to go, I left my memory card for the camera here at the house. And you're all probably saying, well, how were you able to film this if you left your card at the house? Well, he had a memory card. It was an 8 gigabyte memory card, which got quite a bit of footage, a lot more than I thought it would. I had about an hour, before I did all the editing, I had about an hour's worth of footage. Right there's the terminals that came off the battery, as you can see. What he was showing you guys, they broke off. But we got to his house, and I realized I left my memory card at home when I went to start filming. And he said, well, I got a memory card in the house. You can try it out. That memory card only ended up holding about an hour's worth of filming, which when I edited it down and I time-lapsed it, it was only about 15 minutes. So that's why this video is only 15 minutes long. Go check out Starchers Deere Farm. He was helping us in this video too. He got the entire process from bone dry to us getting it going. I started filming kind of late after we got the hood off of it and everything. And here I am digging through my carburetor parts because I dropped the needle on the floor. I had to find another one, which I didn't have, and I ended up finding it. It was on the floor, which I got lucky to find. I've seen a lot of other YouTubers try this style filming out where they do a voiceover over top of their video when they have it time-lapsed. So I thought I'd try it because I thought it was pretty cool. And it actually so far it's turning out pretty good. Right there's the carburetor, as you guys could see. It was so clean compared to outside. Yes, I did include footage of us putting it in the ultrasonic cleaner. My little basket broke, so I gotta find another basket for that ultrasonic cleaner, or put something on the bottom of that basket right there. And here it goes into the deep fryer. Cool. For those of you who are wondering, here's a funny story about this tractor. That red lid right there on top of the hydraulic container, right there that holds the hydraulic lid, or hydraulic fluid, that's a gas cap to an older style fuel tank. It says gasoline only on it, and I told him, I go, you probably ought to check and make sure nobody put gas in that. And he said I already did. You guys can see we had quite a bit of a mouse nest. You'll hear us joke around here in a little bit about it'd be cool to see a mouse come running out of it on fire. It was quite a mess. I told him after I got there, I said, you should have told me to bring my pressure washer. I'd have washed it for you. We ended up pulling the mower deck off of it. You will see in Steven's video. We pulled the mower deck off of it, and about 50% of that mower deck was rust. Not quite that much, but I would say about 30% of it. Underneath, we were pulling all the grass out of it, and just rust was coming out of it. It was rough. Like I said, though, the kid never really cleaned it too much. You had it. How cool would it be if when we start that up, a live mouse comes running out of it?
On fire.
Fire.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
With its tail freshly chopped off.
I was hoping to see that when we started that 216 up. See, now here's our fire prevention for this 210. As you guys remember in the videos of the 216 when we got it running, we got to watch it. We got to watch it catch on fire. The mouse nest that was in it. That's when I was waiting for a mouse to come running out of it. I talked him into cleaning it out, and he took my advice this time and cleaned it. No, it did not catch on fire when we were using it. At the end of the video, there are some pictures of the 73 112 I have. He had to change the transmission seal on it. One of the axle seals had started leaking. He had to change it. So I found them on here. He told me they were on here, and I thought they'd be really cool to add to this video. So I'm going to add them at the end. We're inspecting inside the spark plug hole to make sure that the cylinder and everything looks good. You can't really see the cylinder much. All you can see is the exhaust valve. But you can look around in there if you have one of those little cameras you can stick in there and check it. It did smoke a lot when we start, but that is to be expected from an engine that has not been ran in 5 or so years, because an engine will smoke a lot when it hasn't ran in so long because the rings need to set. Or in this motor's condition, a whole bunch of dirt might have got in it and scored the bore. So that might be next. If it doesn't stop smoking anytime soon, that might be our next situation. Right here I'm trying to figure out what this wire is. At first I thought it went to the coil, but it turned out to go to the headlights, because I remembered that the headlight wires are yellow, and that was a yellow wire, and the ones coming off the coil should be black. I'm going to go on ahead and just spoil it for you guys right here. We hooked the battery up to it, but as it doesn't turn over, the reason why, since you guys aren't going to be able to see it until you go watch his video, is the safety for the
Bring it over here close.
for the manual PTO was no good.
Do the honors. Oh, doesn't matter if it's marked up. Is it zapping? Okay.
Ready? As you can see right here, we go to turn it over and it won't turn.
On here we need to know about.
I don't know. We're gonna find out. Okay, put your hand on the battery. Or
No.
near it, so if it starts to zap, you can pull the cables off, okay? Be ready to pull the cables. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
Nothing.
I will admit I shouldn't have grabbed the cable right there.
Okay. Just go on that. You're gonna break my wires. Alright, pull the battery out.
So right here's about where the
Set it back on.
video is going to end.
Huh?
That was uneventful.
Did it do anything at all?
Did you hear it do anything at all?
No, I was asking if you heard it.
Right here's those pictures I was telling you guys about. I'm going to go on ahead and end the video right here after all these videos are done. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoyed what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button because it helps me out a lot. It tells me that you guys like what I do and I do a good job at it. And it tells YouTube that I should keep on making videos.